Thank you, Mary. I'm very excited to be here today. My journey to Nokia World started in 2002. At that time, I was a retired financial service technologist, and I was in a prepaid cell phone store in Africa. It was a part of Africa where the currency had been devalued, so a bag with about this much in it was $5. And it really made the prepaid cell phone store look like a bank because people were standing in line with bags of money. And it was at that point I thought about the potential for mobile phones to deliver financial services. I teamed up with others and looked at the growing number of mobile phones and their ability to deliver mobile financial services to everyone with a mobile phone. This would be such a breakthrough. Because think about it, the history of banking. Banks have been around for my lifetime, all of our lifetimes. And in that entire history of banking, where with branches, cards, ATMs, even internet banking, the banks have really only been able to reach approximately 1 billion people on the planet. Especially since some of that Mary used 1.6 billion bank accounts, but think about that. A lot of people, including myself, have multiple bank accounts. So it's approximately 1 billion people have bank accounts today with the traditional banking system. So that's clearly creating a breakthrough opportunity since there's so many more people with mobile phones. When we started Obopay in 2005, it was our dream to have a partnership with Nokia. Since they would be the best possible partner to reach the most consumers in the world. Think about it. Nokia has 1.1 billion phones in the world today. That means if you take all the banks in the world and all of their customers, Nokia's reach is greater than that. So being here today and discussing mobilization is really a realization of a dream for me personally. Today I want to talk about Nokia Money for just a few minutes, and I want to talk about the fact that it delivers an open, trusted, secure, and interoperable mobile payment service. Before I do that, I just want to mention a few key things about mobile money and mobile payments. First is that the appeal of mobile payments is universal. It's similar to the appeal of voice and text. And so our whole approach to the market is to deliver a service that will be relevant for all people with a mobile phone. And I'll talk a little bit about how we do that. Next is that mobile payments, in a way, are different than internet payments. Very different, because they're going to be relevant, and they need to be relevant in the virtual as well as the physical world. So again, our approach is to work with partnerships with retailers, banks, mobile operators, to help provide this very high-touch capability. This is a massive market opportunity. Mary gave you the official estimates, but I'll give you my view of the size and the potential of this market. It's about $7 trillion of payments annually. It's a huge opportunity. It's fantastic also because mobile money changes lives. It improves the opportunity for small business. It helps families support each other. It helps communities. So it's one of those great business opportunities, which is massive, very innovative, but also it's really about social good. So that's why I'm very passionate about the opportunity and this announcement that we're making with Nokia. So let's get going here, and I'll just give you a few points about mobile money. You'll also have an opportunity. There is a place in one of the sections. I think it's somebody will tell me which section in a minute. But there's a place in the display area where you can see mobile money and see Nokia Money. Okay, so let's look at the gap and the opportunity. 6.6 billion people, 4 billion phones, 1.6 billion bank accounts, but that's misleading. It's about 1 billion bank accounts. And people who have cards in their wallets, about 1 billion people. So there's a huge underserved. And these numbers are even understated because there's a lot of people that are called underbanked. They have bank accounts, they may have a card, but they are underserved because it doesn't really fit the needs of their life, and they tend to be overcharged and underserved. It's everywhere in the world. For example, if you're in the United States and you're in the underserved category, about 30 million families are classified as underserved by the existing banking system. You will have about $600 in your bank account on average, but you'll pay $200 a year, $225 a year for your banking services. That's the underserved community in the United States. And then, of course, in many markets, people live miles and miles away from banks. So it may be expensive to have banks, but it's also not practical because they don't live near banks, and so it's not reasonable for them to be using them. Here's our view of the market. We talked about a universal solution that we're delivering, but the needs of the consumer are different. So but all types of consumers exist in both the developed countries like Europe, the European area, and the U.S., as well as emerging markets like India and China. So we categorize users into three categories: completely unbanked, don't have a bank account; underbanked, have a bank account, but may have to stand in line to get their money out and fill out forms, or may be overcharged. And then, of course, the fully banked that have multiple bank accounts probably and multiple card options. The way we do this is that we create one service. Nokia Money looks the same. It's very simple, intuitive, secure. But behind the scenes, there's a different model for how the money is accessed. So in the case of the unbanked, they're going to have a prepaid option on their phone. It's going to be prepaid money, very similar to prepaid mobile minutes. In the case of unbanked, you're going to allow the mobile phone to connect to the bank account they have and do very low-cost transactions in a pay-now model against their current bank account. And then for the banked, it's a pay-anyway model. I'm going to want to connect lots of different payment sources to my phone and be able to choose, maybe in real time, what I'm going to be using. Any successful mobile payment system is not about one company, not even about Obopay and Nokia. It's really about an ecosystem, because this has to be very high touch. People have to be able to access money, get money in, money out in many ways. They have to be able to use it in many merchants. They have to be able to use it with many mobile network operator solutions and many mobile applications. So we're working very hard in the markets to build very rich ecosystem, and one of the things that we'd like to invite you to do is contact us and talk about being a part of that ecosystem. Mary talked about our platform. We've spent a lot of time and effort building a platform rich that will deliver the solutions that consumers want, not only in developed markets but also emerging markets. On the surface, and I encourage you to go see Nokia Money, it's very simple, intuitive on the phone as it needs to be, very secure, but behind the scenes there's a very rich platform and infrastructure delivering that capability in a secure fashion. Another thing I wanted to mention, I know an executive from Facebook is up next. It's not just about mobile phones, because people need access wherever they are. And so we have a rich set of user touch points, most of them mobile, but some of them are web-based. So wherever I am in the world, I can access Nokia Money. Also, we work very diligently to build a rich set of use cases. What's so great about mobile money is consumers, once they've adopted it, they want to use it for almost everything. And that means we have to really work with developers and merchants to deliver the maximum number of use cases. The focus of, especially in emerging markets, is on the daily payment needs that will empower people. And for those of us who live in places like Germany or the US, we may not realize what it means not to have a bank account and not to have access to electronic payments. So an example, if you live in India, you might have to spend hours in line paying a utility bill. Or you may have to have someone come to your house, knock on the door so you can pay your cable bill. If you have a small business, you may not be able to easily order new parts. You may have to send your brother with a bodyguard with cash in their pocket in an unsafe situation to go get something for your small business. So we very much focus on addressing the daily needs of consumers in the environments that they're in. So many examples for how people are going to use this. One of the things that we've seen a lot in the United States is how this has really become a key tool for families to support each other. The daughter may be away at college, needing to buy books for her university, but runs out of money and is able to get a quick loan from mom. In emerging markets, it can be someone paying their employees for the first time not in cash, so it's safer. They can get paid electronically, and then later on use it to pay their rent. So it's a really big, wide spectrum of uses, and very exciting to see how people are beginning to use it. And it's very early, so it's just beginning. So we can just imagine how people are going to take this tool and really use it in their daily lives. One thing we focus very much on, this is people's money, so it has to be super secure and safe, but also it has to be simple for everyone to use. And so we've worked a lot, and we're working very closely with Nokia to make this the best user experience, very intuitive, very safe on the mobile phones. One of the reasons this was our dream to have a relationship with Nokia was the strengths that they bring to the Nokia Money project. And there's so many, but I'd like to just point out a few. Obviously, having it preloaded on the device makes it easier for customers to discover it, use it, and get started. Next, they have great relationships around the world with mobile carriers. They have huge credibility in talking to banks, and so building the ecosystem is going to be much faster, much richer with Nokia's relationships that they can bring to the table, and I've already started doing that. Next is their retail reach. This has to be meaningful in the physical world, especially in emerging markets. People have to be able to go someplace that's close to their house and load money or unload money, because that is key to any money system. You have to be able to convert it to cash when you need it. And Nokia has a huge retail reach where they can sign up customers and service and use it as a payment method in their retail distribution network. Huge trust, which for money, it's all about trust. And then they also have the right commitment. This has to be a network this big. This is like the internet or text messaging. The value of it is the number of people that participate, the number of merchants, the number of handsets it's available on, the number of retail locations you can go to. So their whole approach of an open network is exactly what the world needs to deliver this to all the people that need it. And then, of course, their global presence. This has mass appeal, mass opportunity, and they reach most countries in the world, and that gives us the broadest reach with the service. So we're bringing the opportunity to life. The announcement was last week. We're very excited about moving forward. I just want to say again that this is a service that has universal appeal. It needs to be relevant in the physical and virtual worlds. It's a very big opportunity, and we are very excited about partnering with Nokia on Nokia Money. Thank you.
Thank you very much.